MailChimp Newsletter tutorial. My name is Elias, and in this video I'm going to show you everything needed to successfully launch your newsletter using MailChimp. Now, to get started, you will actually have to sign up for a MailChimp account. Now you can do so by just clicking on Start Free Trial right here, and then you will have to put in your basic information like name, address, and so on to successfully sign up for MailChimp. Either way, once you are on the dashboard right here, this is how it is going to look like. Now, MailChimp has dozens of different features for all sorts of different email marketing related stuff, but the feature that we are going to use is going to be the campaigns feature right here. Now, either way, if you already have used some other email marketing providers in the past, and if you are now migrating to MailChimp, you can actually also add all of your contacts right here. Now you can either manually add them, or you can also just import them from another service. They do actually offer all of these services right here on screen, or alternatively, you can actually also just simply import all of your contacts as a CSV file, so basically just an Excel file, or you can just copy and paste it. Now, as for this video, I'm just going to quickly add some example contacts onto this, so I'm just going to upload a file onto this. Let me quickly select it right here. Then I'm going to click on continue to organize, and right here we will then have to basically organize all of these subscribers accordingly, and we will have to create a tag for these subscribers. And now this is just to basically organize all of our contacts, and I'm just going to add the tag newsletter right here, and then I'm going to click on continue to match, and now we will basically have to match these columns. And once this is finalized, we can actually complete the import, and now we do have our contacts added. Either way, to get started, we are going to head over to campaigns right here. This is actually going to allow us to create our emails that we are going to send out, and then click on create new right here on top. Now, basically with MailChimp, you're going to have 3 different ways of actually building something. You can just set up your regular emails, which is what we are going to do. We are going to set up a regular email as a newsletter, but you can also set up stuff like automations or landing pages. But as for us, I will actually just click on the sign email right here. Then this is going to load up, and right here we will then have to edit the name of our email. So I'm just going to name this newsletter 1, and then we are going to have to add the recipients to this. So you can actually once again use the contacts that you've already imported for this. You will have to add a from name. So in my case, I'm just going to say Elias from elias@eliaskrause.com. Now you will actually have to, I guess you will have to verify this so that MailChimp is going to actually display this. I'm not actually going to do that as this is just going to waste time essentially. Now right here we will then have to add a subject. Now one thing which is important to notice is that when adding the subject, so I will just add something like hello, you can actually also customize this by adding some smileys and so on. So maybe I'm just going to put in this smiley right here, and basically this subject right here as well as the preview text just should get people clicking onto your email, and this should just improve your click-through rate essentially. And now as for me, I'm just going to leave this as it is, but for a newsletter, for example, I would put in something like hello, have you heard about this and that? And then as for the preview text, we could then put in something like this is a new feature which MailChimp recently enrolled, learn more about it, and so on. So basically you just want to get people clicking on your email using these subject lines. As for the send time, we can actually customize this. We can either schedule this, or we can also directly send it now. And then we will have to get started designing our email. So I'm just going to click on design right here. Now MailChimp is going to provide you with tons of different templates which you can actually all use if you're going to go for a free trial or if you're going to go for a paid plan. However, they also do provide some free templates which you can actually see right here. You can first of all preview each of these templates, and if these are actually good for your need, you can then actually add them, and you can also create emails using the custom email designs. So basically everyone nowadays is going to add some AI features onto their service. Same does MailChimp. They are going to have this AI feature where you can just let the AI generate an email for you. However, generally to get started, I would actually recommend you to manually set everything up, because if you're going to manually set everything up, you are going to get a feeling for MailChimp, and you can then later on basically customize everything to your likings way more easier than just right away going with these AI features right here. So either way, I'm just going to select the minimal template right here. And now with this drag and drop editor, we can get started designing our email. So obviously right here on the left, we do have our content tab as well as our layouts. And then we do have the styles. So basically we can set stuff like background color. However, we can also set up the stuff like the body color and so on. Pretty self-explanatory. We can set the overall text font. So for example, I tend to use the Arial font most of the time. Then we can also customize the headings. Once again, I'm just going to use, I guess, Arial for this right here. And then as for the heading, we obviously would want to leave this at bold. We can then change the overall spacing right here and so on. But you can then actually also optimize this, but usually you are going to spend most of the time at the content as well as layouts tab. Basically with these layouts, you can get started customizing your email. So for example, let's add this layout right here. And as you can see, inside this layout, we can then add our different kind of elements. So let's, for example, add a video. And as you can see, now this got added. Now we can basically use this to kind of subdivide our email. So as you can see with this layout function right here, we can then, for example, right here, add an image. And we can then on the right add a button to this. So let me add this button right here and so on. So obviously you could go way more in depth with this, but one thing which is important to notice is that with this button text, you can actually link this to either your web, email, phone, file, or also a landing page directly within MailChimp. But if you're going to go for web, you can either just open this in a new tab, or you can directly redirect a person to this website. As for the alignment, you can play around with this. I usually tend to select round as a shape, and as for the size, right here, I usually leave this at small. Border, we can also set this up. We can also set up the overall color. So probably black is going to be a little bit basic, so we can basically play around with this if we want to, but just for simplicity's sakes and to not waste your time, I'm not actually going to dive into that. However, right here on top, we can actually set the logo. So in my case, I would probably just add my Krause black logo right here, which is going to look something like this. And we can then customize this, we can select how big this should be, and we can basically just then use this logo function right here to directly display our logo, which would then be shown right here. So let me quickly demonstrate to you this. As you can see, now this logo also got placed right here just with one click. Now we can then go ahead and customize this even further. We can view this email in your browser, and we can actually also change the footer right here. Now obviously your footer does have to contain stuff like your address and so on. This is required by law. However, still you can actually customize this. So for example, we can put in something like, do you want to log out of the circle? I don't know, I'm just making things up right now, but if they want to, they can then update the preferences or unsubscribe right here, which also is pretty neat. Now once you are going to click on save and exit right here on the top, you are then going to be redirected to the page that we already had beforehand. Now as for the content, obviously you would have to actually customize this. However, as I don't want to waste your time, I'm not going to do this. And then you can actually also add a social post to your email, which I would recommend you to do. So if you're going to use tools like X, Instagram, so basically Twitter or Instagram or Facebook, please just connect them, and then they're actually going to be displayed on your email, as well as you can then share your posts within these social media platforms. Now, that's basically it. Make sure to like and subscribe if you found this video helpful, and I will see you in the next one.